So with the latest installment, Scream 7, coming out this week, I just thought it was what a better time to come back right down to the original where it all began and rank this franchise from that original up until the current seventh one, and then I'll do a ranking of all seven. Seems appropriate now that I'm really kind of pumped for Scream 7 and riding this train. So yeah, let's get straight to it with the original where it all began. And I was probably about 16 when I first saw this film, so it'd been about a couple of years since but then but this was the first time that I had become aware of it, and I just absolutely loved it. Ever since I first saw this movie, I've been absolutely in love with it. Back then, I don't think I could really articulate what it was that I loved about it, but I just did. I see it was. Obviously, it has Neve Campbell in the lead. It has Courtney Cox in it, so she was big for Friends at that time. I had seen her in stuff prior to Friends. I'd seen her in Ace Ventura as a kid. I'd seen her in the Masters of the Universe film as well. So, well, I had seen her and stuff, but it did seem like a refreshing just to kind of see her in a horror movie in this, going. It seemed to be something kind of a little bit outside of her comfort zone, which I kind of really, really dug at the time. Gail Weathers was never my favourite character. In fact, I love a core three of Dewey, Gale and Sydney. Gail was my least favourite, always has been. I've kind of warmed to her as the franchise has gone on, but I've still never really, she's never totally fully won me over. But yeah, just and that, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to really kind of try and avoid any spoilers in here because I'm guessing, obviously it's been out for like 30 years now, so it's, it obviously, if you haven't seen Scream yet, then what are you doing? So yeah, I mean, if you're one of the few horror fans on this planet who hasn't seen Scream, then yeah, please go away and get that off your bucket list right now before obviously checking out this review. But yeah, this review is just for those who have seen it and are appreciative of it. So I mean, but like I said, this wasn't just a great horror movie though, but this was just so kind of influential. It created just a much another resurgence in the slasher genre that had been kind of dead. A part of it is just the iconic opening scene that we have with Drew Barrymore being terrorized by this mystery caller, and I think that there was something really at the time felt really grounded about that, because it felt like mobile phones and smartphones were quite new at the time. I mean, I don't recall having a mobile phone kind of like when this movie first came out. I was kind of like still was kind of like in secondary school, so I don't recall having a mobile phone at that time, and I don't recall too many of my classmates having phones at that time, so it's kind of like relatively like a new thing. So it seemed to be kind of like getting the treatment similar to what AI is now, where people are just going a bit like this could actually happen, where somebody's calling you and they could just, and it's not connected to a landline, it could just be connected, they could just literally be calling you from literally anywhere, providing the service is good, of course. I'm guessing they're not. Yeah, I guess you can rule out they're ringing you from some country road or something, because no one can get a bloody signal there, I suppose. But yeah, so I think it was really effective in tapping into that fear. But I thought it was also like just a really bold move to have somebody of a stature of Drew Barrymore, be in this opening segment and get killed off in the first 15 minutes. I thought that was a really bold move, especially considering that the core cast we get here were kind of, and at least to my knowledge, like quite fresh faces, and they're very like Neve Campbell and Matthew Lillard and all of that had gone on to do like really household names now, but I can't recall too many of the stuff that they had done like prior to this. So it felt like really fresh. But I think but yeah, just absolutely loved everything about this. Just right from the cast to the Ghostface costume to the concept to just the overall aesthetic of this, just the set designs and just the general look and feel of this. All of the meta commentary just was so fresh and proved an influential component to the horror genre, where you kind of had where you basically set the story around this group of teenagers that were aware that they were in a horror film and were kind of like treating it as if the events were a horror film. So you had just all of this kind of like self-aware meta like commentary, which was just kind of so refreshing at the time. But it wasn't just the horror genre that this movie took its kind of like inspiration from, because it does owe quite a bit into like those classic whodunits as well, and that was another thing that was really fresh for me. I mean, watching this right from like the very first time I had seen this, I always believed that Billy Loomis was the killer. I mean, even when there were all these little swerves and stuff, with him getting with them clearing his phone records and stuff like that, I was still like really like dubious of him. I was still kind of like onto him. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, it seems a bit it's not a film that I can necessarily go, oh, the killers are a big surprise, but it was a big surprise. It was a nice twist to reveal that there was more than one killer. Obviously, like that second killer, Stu Marker, played by Matthew Lillard, has obviously become a fan favorite as well. And, I can see why, like, Matthew Lillard brings just such an energy to this role and to this movie. You've got Jamie Kennedy playing the geeky Randy here, who's making a lot of the film references and kind of becomes a vessel for a lot of the meta humor here. Obviously, no, but yeah, like I said, it's also a lot of fun to have that like whodunit element to it as well, and it's all just kind of like wrapped up neatly in a concept that in some ways it felt very modern with the utilizing of like smartphones and stuff like that. But essentially, when you boil it down, it boils down to a really like classic horror trope. It's like that sort of like Black Christmas or When a Stranger Calls, and just somebody being terrorized over the phone. I just think that it works so wonderfully, and I think that it was I think that this was a movie where I think that Wes Craven was able to take a lot of the stuff that he tried to do a couple of years before with Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and he really mastered those elements, and he got the formula just right with this movie. So yeah, absolutely. iconic movie and modern classic movie, and fully deserved. And it's still just up there with probably my top 20, if not top 10 horror films of all time. I just absolutely love this movie. Cannot rate this movie high enough, really. So yeah, I mean, if you're one of the few that haven't seen this movie, then yeah, like I said, what are you doing? You know, get out and see it. But yeah, like I said, I'm trusting that obviously everybody who's watching this review has seen Scream, though. So you know, I don't need to tell you how great it is. You already know how great it is yourself. So yeah, just so yeah, with that one in the bag. Yeah, like I said, I'll be revisiting all of the 6 Scream films, as well as reviewing Scream 7, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm a little bit trepidatious as well, for reasons I'll get into. It's another topic for another video. But yeah, like I said, yeah, and then I'll be bringing them all back together, and then once I've seen Scream 7, I'll be ranking all 7 Scream films from the worst to the best. So be sure to stay peeled for that. So yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to ring a bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section what your own thoughts on Scream are, and your thoughts on the franchise as a whole, and you know, what's your anticipation level, what's your excitement level, what's your worry level for Scream 7. So you know, all of that stuff, let me know down in the comment section, and until next time, I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care.